Hey, my name is Julie. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about some of the Yamazaki Home organizers. Undoubtedly, you've seen these on Instagram many times and I just can't get them out of my feed. So they had a great Cyber Monday sale that I just took advantage of. It was 15% off $100, so I thought I would just buy a few things to try it out. In total, I got 4 things. The first one is the magnet kitchen storage rack, and then the undershelf multi-purpose hanger set of 2, undershelf hanger holder, and the last one is wood top stackable kitchen rack small. Out of all of these, I think I'm probably the most excited for the magnet kitchen storage rack. I mean, look at it. Look at how sleek these product photos are. You can put all kinds of storage on top, and then there's also the paper towel holder in the middle and a bunch of little hooks at the bottom to kind of just hold whatever you need. I'm thinking this could probably look pretty good on my fridge. Luckily, the whole thing came in one piece, and it looks like it's pretty sturdy too. I thought it looked pretty good next to my little dry erase board on my top freezer refrigerator. On top, I have a couple things that I use almost on a daily basis, and then down here we have the paper towel holder. This roll in particular is a half-used roll, so I wonder if it has enough space to hold a new roll. Surprisingly, it's actually not too top heavy. The items don't topple over at all, and the freezer door is still really easy to open. Having these hooks on the bottom are kind of useless on the front of a top freezer fridge. Hung things block the bottom door from opening, and putting the rack on the bottom door makes them too low to use. That was poor planning on my part. Unfortunately for me, I don't have room on the sides to put this, so the rack will just have to stay here. Honestly, I really just wanted to free up some space behind the faucet here. This is where the paper towel used to sit. The rack also freed up some space from the drawers, so it's still a winning situation. Next we have the undershelf hanger, and honestly, I'm not really sure what I want to do with this. It looks like some ideas they have are utensils, bags, bananas, but I honestly got this because a friend of mine really wanted it too. So I was gonna give one to her and keep one for myself. The 2 hanger set is $14, so these are essentially $7 each. Honestly, I really just hope these are a little bit better than the things I can get at Daiso. It's actually pretty well made. It's got a soft pad on the clamp and also the underside where it hangs on the shelf to make sure it doesn't damage anything. It's even got a little sticker on top where it says Yamazaki on it, so it feels a little bit classy. In the end, I kind of just chose the obvious choice, which is to put it on my desk, where I would put my headphones when I'm not using them. I feel like the only thing I could really ask for something like this is for it to be stable and not to fall off all the time. The soft pads actually make these wiggle pretty easily. I also wish they came in black. But the hook on the bottom is really sturdy, so I know my headphones are not going to fall off, at least not from the hook itself. Next up, we have the undershelf hanger holder. In this one, I kind of just want to free up some space in the dryer and washer area of my home. There's a shelf here, there's some Tide Pods and bounce dryer sheets and some soft soap, but I think I could use this area just a little bit better. It was super easy to install. You just slip it right onto the shelf here. The rack has soft pads on it so it won't scratch your surfaces. The wooden dowel looks good and sturdy in here too. In the product photos, they had some prime items I want to try putting here too, so let's see if it'll work for me. This is still 2020 after all, so I've got hooks here for drying my face masks, and then some clothes clips here for hanging delicates, socks, and other small things. It seems like my space is a little bit too small for the hangers. They can't seem to completely hang at a perpendicular angle without hitting the wall or the washer. But But that's okay. I think the space is actually a little too small for large articles to dry in here anyway. Maybe I should have just gotten a few S-hooks instead. But it looks really nice, so I'm not mad. Next up, we have the wood top stackable kitchen rack small. Now, I knew I wanted this the moment I saw it because, I mean, look at the product photos. They put like really cool stuff on there like spices and herbs, jars, coffee, makers, mugs. I mean, there's so many ways to use this, and they're stackable, so I was totally sold. So my plan for this one is to kind of use more of the space next to my stove here. There's a lot of vertical space that I'm not using right now, so hopefully if I put some of the stuff on the rack, I'll have more space to put some essentials here. This one is the first one that we've gotten that we actually have to assemble. There's only a few pieces that we have to work with. It even came with the screws and a couple little extra ones just in case. I had a pretty hard time with the screws on this one. I couldn't keep the giant screwdriver upright because of the other end of the metal piece. So be aware of this as you're screwing in and try not to strip any of the screws by screwing them in at an angle. I think this would have been like a lot easier if I had a much smaller screwdriver. It all turned out okay though, and I think it's pretty sturdy. Let's put back a couple of these things and see how much space we've got now. Oops. So, what do you think? I think I have a little bit more room now on the rack itself and on the counter so that I can put more stuff here if needed, but I'm afraid it might start looking crowded. It's really sturdy though, so I don't have to worry about these glass bottles falling down or anything like that. Let's do a recap of everything. Here's my thoughts on each one of them. Starting with the magnet kitchen storage rack, it retails for $50, but I got it for $42.50. I really like this. I'm really impressed with the quality of it and how well the items kind of sit on the top shelf without feeling like they're gonna fall out every time I open the freezer door. The paper towel holder feels like it could be a little bit wider just for the giant American paper towels that we have here. The roll isn't hung on super tightly, so the paper is not gonna rip off unexpectedly. I think this item would have been totally worth the $50 splurge if I had planned correctly to use the hooks from the bottom. There's also a more affordable version of this that's very similar, and that one's called the Simple Magnet Kitchen Storage Rack, and that one has the same layout as this one, but they replaced the wooden parts of it with metal pieces instead. I opted for the wooden one because I like the look of it, but I can imagine them kind of performing the same way for just $39. The next one is the Undershelf Multipurpose Hanger set of 2. This one retails for $14 and I got it for $11.90. So I really enjoy the simple design of this and I think it's worth the money, especially because you get 2 of them. I'm sure there's a lot of creative usage for this that I haven't thought of yet. The only thing I wish they had were different colors. I think black would be a pretty popular color too, and it would match my computer desk. Next up, we have the Undershelf Hanger Holder. This one retails for $30 and I got it for $25.50. I think this one is suited for a home that has a larger area for this to really hang more things. It's totally worth it if you can actually use it to the best of its ability. For me, I don't have a dedicated room with a washer and dryer. It's really just in a little closet, so I can imagine this being really nice if there's a real room for it. While it's actually really easy to install for me, I happen to have a shelf that can fit with this perfectly. It's just on like a wood plank. But I think if you have a shelf that is too thin or too thick for it, it probably won't work. Lastly, we have the wood top stackable kitchen rack small. Now this one retails for $28. I got it for $23.80. The quality of the shelf is pretty good. Again, I didn't really like the design of assembling it, but it looked nice and sturdy at the end. But let's take a look at that price. It's about $2 cheaper than the hanger holder, and I think the hanger holder was a much more thought out piece of design that's uniquely functional. This kitchen rack honestly is just a rack, and you can easily get something similar quality, say from even Target or Daiso. Overall, the lesson here is the same advice I'd give to anyone that's trying to buy furniture for their space. Imagine how it would actually fit into your home, not just the piece itself, but also how it'll be used. I really could have spent more time thinking about how I would use the hooks on the fridge door and the hanger in the laundry space. I also should point out that this is a Japanese brand and everything is designed in Japan, but everything was made in China, in case that is something that matters to you. It would be really nice in the future if Yamazaki Home had an AR function very similar to IKEA or Target, so we can better visualize these pieces in our homes. Incidentally, I was doing some holiday shopping on the Anthropologie website and noticed they carried a few popular items from Yamazaki too. I wonder if they carry them in the store so you can take a look at what they actually look like in store. There's also some on the West Elm website, so hopefully they have those in store as well. Lastly, I also noticed that some of their items are on the Wayfair website, and noticeably a lot of them are on sale. Like the rack that I got is actually 27% off on Wayfair. Wayfair also offers free shipping when you spend $100 compared to the Yamazaki website, which only gives you free shipping at $150. So I'd recommend seeing a couple items that you like on there. Check it on Wayfair to see if they have it on sale. Hopefully you can get everything at a better price. So, what did you think of all these Yamazaki Home items? Are you planning to order some yourself? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing for more content in the future. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you in the next one.